Hey y'all, this is the Kentucky Renaissance Man. This is part 2 of our trailer build. We have already ripped up a bunch of this material, which I'll show you in some footage real quick. And tonight I have Isaiah. Say hello, Isaiah.
What's going on?
Isaiah is here with me tonight, and we are fixing to start doing cutoffs. And so as I move over here, we are gonna set up and film for you, chopping all of these materials down to length. And then we've got some jigs made. I'll show you how they work that hang on that wall that are gonna help us, that we made previously, that we built these cabinets with. So I'm gonna zoom in here, sorry about my hand, real close. And if you notice, there's a little rabbet cut in each one of these, and these are independent cabinets from here to here. So we're going to replicate that for our tool trailer so that we can put the same containers throughout the trailer.
Yeah, push your bottom up a little bit. Push them all up.
Off 2 inches. All right, Isaiah and the rest of our audience. These are the backs to all of our cabinets that I laid out. So on the corners, when I was ripping them, I made a note there. It says 30.5 by 70. All of these are still 96. So we're fixing to start by ripping them to the length. Everything is made the right width for each of our cabinets. Those are 1/4 inch pieces of plywood for the backs. And then we'll get to cutting these panels to length. I made these triangular shaped jigs some time ago. There was another fella online that had a version of this, and we went and replicated a similar version, and I will try to show you here in a second how it works. But basically it goes on the edge, and then we run our saw down there, and we don't have to do much real figuring, clamping, or marking. So we'll get started on that. I can just line up this side with our mark exactly, puts a little pressure on here, and then I need to just adjust my saw where the motor will clear, and then I can push down here or here. And the way this jig is made, it sticks over so it pulls your guard back automatically when you put forward pressure. All right, so what I like to do is take my drawing, and then before I cut this 8-inch material, let's say on that piece of shelf, I'm gonna figure out my side leg length, my top length, my bottom length, and then each shelf length. Write me a working list on a piece of paper, and then I'll go to the next cabinet section, figure those sides and the shelf lengths, and I'll make a list, and I'll just make me a cut sheet just like I did here for the backs and the strips. And then I don't have to sit here and keep referring to this. I just work through my list, stockpile up the parts, and then I'll be able to efficiently assemble at one time. That way I'm not wasting time building one cabinet at a time. All right, first thing first, we got our cut sheet done. We're gonna cut some stuff to 80 inches. We now have a working sheet for one side of the trailer. So I'll set that right there. Actually, we'll hang it up here on the wall where you can see it. And our first one, legs of the first little shelf, which we have labeled all the shelves on our paper by letters, so that all the pieces will then have letters written on them. And these side legs have everything in common, are all 80 inches. Those are extras. Okay. Right, where's this lid? Put it over there somewhere. We're gonna put 4 of them. We gotta spread everything out now. Let's just do the here are 3 of them. So we know how many we need. And we're gonna do this. Slide it out. And then we'll get it off. Take that one away. And a half. Yep. For that one you just did. You put it on the table right there. I need to catch these. All right, we're gonna use this 3/4 inch brand new mortising bit to cut our rabbets through our side panels of our cabinets. I first gotta remove this 1/4 inch collet that is on my router that has a roundover bit in it. And it has been in here a little while. So we'll get it off. We're gonna remove the we'll remove this 1/4 inch collet and put a 1/2 inch collet on. Set our bit down in there. Tighten it all back. Tighten those down. Put these aside. We're going to set this depth. If I can get it lined up, we're going to set the depth to 1/4 of an inch. All right, so these jigs that I have made are set up to where when you run the router against one of these, every time, this ends up with a 6-inch shelf spacing. And if you put this jig against it, end up with a 12-inch shelf spacing. And so what we'll do is we will, in this case, we're gonna run the 12-inch. I've attached this little strip on here flush. It's actually set up for a 1/2-inch groove. But we'll butt it on the end, put a clamp on it, run the router, then we'll set this in the groove, butt it tight, clamp it, run the router, and we continue that all the way down. And we do that down both boards from the same end. And then when we flip it over, put our shelves in there, they'll all be parallel. Let's get started. Okay. Alright, what I'm using is some 1.5-inch staples and a little trim gun, staple gun. We've got our shelves prepped already. So what we'll do, we'll put that up on end, put a little glue on the end of the board, slide that in there. Make sure it's in all the way. And staple it. Makes a really nice, clean, neat, very strong joint. It's got a like that, we can go along, apply a bead of glue, top of each one of these. We'll set the top board on in one pass. Now, what we'll do is start here. Get that one on. We'll work our way down. Get y'all where y'all can see. Go here. This is our first shelf. 12 inches off the bottom, 12 inches center to center. Gives us a 15-inch wide is what that cabinet is. 15-inch wide, 72 inches tall, 78 inches tall. And then we'll put our cap board. The cap board will go up there and connect all the cabinets. The bottom one just doesn't have a bottom, it'll sit right on the floor. And that's how we'll do all these cabinets. So follow along, we'll get all these cabinets cut and assembled, and then we'll show you the next process. But for this video, that's a wrap. Y'all have a good night. I got an itch. That's better.